The AI that I use to build these videos, well, used for a few glorious days at least, went dark for 19 days in June by government order. To be clear, I record all these live because who has two thumbs, wears a hat, and records all his own videos? This guy. But the slides themselves were generated by an amazing model, Claude Fable 5, until they weren't. And for me, it was a real flowers for Algernon moment, worth reading if you haven't done it already. So let's cover what happened. So the Commerce Department told Anthropic to cut up its most powerful model, Fable 5 and Mythos 5, kind of all the Mythos class, for any foreign national, including Anthropic employees that happen to be in the United States everywhere on Earth. Well, Anthropic is not the TSA. They don't actually have a way to check passports in real time. So their only real option was to make the model go dark for everyone, everywhere, including me in San Juan. I know this is personally suffering. So, why did the government turn off Claude? Well, turns out the one who told Washington the model maybe had a cybersecurity issue kind of was inside the family. Came from researchers at Amazon, which does have north of $80 billion invested in Anthropic. And those researchers jailbroke the model into showing it could help build working software exploits. Then Amazon's CEO, Andy Jassy, instead of calling Anthropic's CEO, Dario Amodei, he went and carried it to federal authorities himself, which is an odd move to do when you have $8 billion invested and you've sent your bug report to Washington. So Washington looked at what that jailbroken model could do. They did try and call Anthropic. There were various calls. There's some rumors that Dario Amodei was at a wellness retreat, which has been denied by a lot of other people. They eventually got him on the phone. Washington didn't feel that Dario and Anthropic was taking them seriously, so they reached for the law that they normally use for missile parts and enriched uranium export controls. Basically, we can't send this outside of the United States. They do also maybe use it for NVIDIA chips sometimes, but I don't know of another piece of commercial software that they're saying we can't send outside of the US. It's a pretty uncomfortable precedent if your company happens to run on one. So, since we could use Fable 5 to write cyber weapons, Washington decided to treat it like one. Now, to be clear, the exploit I'm about to explain to you could also be used against other models that were not Fable 5, but Anthropic doesn't have the greatest relationship with Washington. So what the jailbreak showed is that with the safety layer peeled off, the model could help build working exploits against real systems. Basically said, look at this code base and figure out how to fix it. And if you know how to fix something, you also know how to break it. So Anthropic shipped a fix eventually that says it blocks that technique in over 99% of attempts and sends it down to a lower model. So the government lifted the order. They did say over 99%, which you smart people listening know is less than 100, which basically means they can't guarantee it in 100% of cases. It's kind of a not always situation. The model came back, but now it has lots of conditions all around it. It is usage capped at half the normal limits for at least the first week, which I run into twice in the couple of days it's been back up. There is a government ID check coming through to keep using it at full strength. So now you got to show identification to use a writing tool. Be fascinating. It'd be like if Microsoft Word popped up and said, yeah, you can type all you want, but if you want a spell check, you could do dangerous things with that. So we're going to need to see a passport. It also now has a federal off switch. It has no continuity plan that I've ever seen that says, what do you do if the government turns off the software you can use? So that's kind of quirky. I think by the end of, let's say 2027, standard enterprise AI contracts are going to carry a government action clause next to force majeure, basically saying if the government pulls this thing down, it's not our fault and we will not reimburse you for anything. To be clear, the very moment that that strongest model came back on July 1st, I started using it, and so did everyone I know. They beat it up. A lot of us had deadlines of Thursday at 2 p.m., which was on July 2nd, so you had a lot of usage you could do in that one day. All of us were so thrilled to get access back. We briefly forgave what actually caused all this. But I think the lasting lesson is, can you build your business on something that the government can just decide to switch off? If you found this quick and helpful, please subscribe. But until next time, keep asking good questions.